love. This is Ruby D, the goddess entrepreneur, owner, and artisan of Artistic Natural Body Care, Reiki Master, emotional health and wellness specialist, as well as emotional intelligence practitioner. And today I wanted to discuss a little bit about what the extended chakra systems are. I'm sure I've talked about this in the past, but I just wanted to go ahead and make an updated video. But pretty much with the updated chakra system, as some of you, or as you may or may not know, I have been working with the chakras almost 10 years now, personally, professionally, on a number of different levels, not only for myself, but I've also worked with different clients. And during that time, my studies, working with clients and doing consultations and whatnot, I came to find out that when I did a session with a client, when we go over the 7 main chakras, because I only cover the 7 main ones because I feel those are the most important for people to build on, or build a strong foundation, and then from there they can continue to study more or look more into other chakras and whatnot. But I found that when I would discuss the 7 main ones, there were so many aspects that I couldn't touch on because it was just entirely too much information. For example, if I had a customer who reached out to me regarding how the imbalances in their chakras affected them personally. We would begin to talk about that, but then they would ask about relationships, their children, friendships, love life, just other things in general. And it was difficult to try and cover everything within a 60 or a 75-minute time period. It was just too much information. So from there, I started to separate different aspects of a person's life outside of just personal. So like, for example, I created what I call extended chakra systems. And extended chakra systems are basically an extension of the main chakra system, or the main energy body, which would be me or you or the individual. And whatever we give energy to, we give life to, we give it meaning, we make it important to us. And the extended chakra systems are just basically the energy bodies that are created when we deem something important and we give it energy, and it becomes a very important part of our lives. So for example, of course, as a single individual, the only energy body that exists is your own. But then as you get older, you make friends, you develop relationships with significant others, then those things become important to you. Those things you begin to make time and energy for. Those things you give energy to, you give emotion to, you give thought to. So you give a good bit of yourself for this aspect of your life, outside of it just being personal and it being just you. And when you do that, when there are imbalances that are that come about from those relationships, those have to be addressed. You can't just ignore them. So let's say, for example, an individual that has an unbalanced root chakra, they, of course, you're still going to live your everyday life. So you're out, you're meeting people, you meet a significant other, and you all start hanging out, you start dating. There's a transference of energy that is going to take place to some level, to some degree. And whatever contributed to the imbalance of your root chakra personally, that is still going to exist even though you have a relationship with another individual. And so because you already had an imbalanced root chakra, then when you get into that relationship, you're still going to have an unbalanced root chakra. So not only do you have that imbalance personally, but you have that imbalance when it comes to your relationship. You have that imbalance when it comes to the relationship that you have with your mother or your father or your children. You have that imbalance when it comes to who you are as an employee, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. That imbalance exists even though you have friends. And that imbalance is going to affect those relationships to some degree. And it's important that we begin to understand, one, acknowledge the fact that we all have an energy body. I know people have been around others and they felt like something was off about a person or something wasn't right about a person. That is definitely a person's energy. That is your energy communicating to you about another person's energy and about the vibe or the feeling that you get, the gut feeling that you get when you're in their presence. So, acknowledging the fact that we have an energy body, you have to also acknowledge the fact that that energy body just doesn't apply to one part of your life. If it applies to you, it applies to every single thing that you deal with, every single thing that you are a part of, every single thing that you give energy to. So, over the years, as I've worked with clients and whatnot, the most important relationships or the most important aspects that people care about personally, that's your main chakra system. Of course, you care about your job, your money, how you survive. So you have to have a job, you have to have a business, you have to have a career, something to that, degree. So you have your professional chakra system. You're going to have a relationship with a significant other at some point. So you have your relationship chakra system. You're going to be intimate. You have to be in touch with your intimate side, your sexuality. It doesn't even matter if you're sleeping with someone, sleeping with a couple of someones, or you're celibate. There's still a sexual energy that exists within you. That's something that you deem important. Your money, your finances. There's a financial chakra system because money is energy. Money is something that we all need to survive. So that's a relationship that you cannot deny, a connection that you cannot deny because it's a necessity. The relationship that you have with your parents and the relationship that you have with your children. I consider that the maternal / paternal extended chakra system because there are, of course, you have to have some type of relationship with your parents, even if it's one that's non-existent. If they haven't been around, you're still affected by that to some degree. And of course, your relationship with friends, your associates. You have friends, whether you consider them close friends or acquaintances, associates, there's still an energy body that exists there. And then the last one is the love chakra system, the relationship that you have with love itself. Because if you ask somebody what love is to them or what love means, you're never going to get a a definition that is the same for everybody. Even though there's a textbook definition of what love is, it is not the same for everybody, because it's really based on their perception, their experiences, their level of understanding, those type things. So because we give so much energy to that, we don't even have to be in a relationship with someone, but it's still something that's important to us. And I'm not just referring to love on an intimate level, but just as a human being, a compassionate level, not only with other people, but with yourself. So I just wanted to do a quick video on what the extended chakra systems are, and why I feel they exist, and why I feel it's important that we begin to not only develop an understanding, a proper understanding of the chakras, but also an understanding of how it affects us in so many different areas of our life, and how there can be difficulty in balancing things, especially when people want to separate one from the other, but in all actuality you can't, because you're only one individual, and you can't separate pieces of you physically or non-physically. It's just not possible. And I mean, just because you can't do that, that does not mean there's anything wrong with that. It's just that you have to find how to effectively manage your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts based on the chakra system, and identifying imbalances. So as you work on an imbalance in one area, you're simultaneously working on an imbalance in another, but you may have to make some slight adjustments as far as what the cause is, exactly what and how you're being affected. But it's definitely something that I will be discussing more, and I'll be discussing that more somewhat on my social media pages, but for the most part I will be posting to my blog as well as my YouTube channel. So definitely, if you all have any questions, you can definitely message me or follow me on social media at Ruby L. Davidson or Ruby D Artistry. And yeah, I look forward to sharing more with you all, providing some more insight and education, and I hope that you all find the information to be beneficial for you. So until then, peace and love. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.